Okay. Hey everybody on YouTube, it's Johnny. I have something I want to share with you guys. I want to show you how mad and completely and utterly insane the world has gone. And I want to show you things from the perspective and the point of view that the Lord's allowed me to see the world and through the spiritual gifting. Let's talk very quickly about Judge Scalia. Okay, just if you look into it and you look at the reality that he was the 5-4 vote that was keeping the Obama administration from shutting down our coal production, he was stopping abortion, he was stopping them from taking our guns, he was a constitutionalist, and the fact that he mysteriously died at a ranch in West Texas that was owned by a huge supporter, Poindexter, I believe, of Obama and the Democratic Party, and that none of the normal protocol was followed with the body. They didn't even have a medical examiner. They pronounced him dead over the phone as of natural causes. Like, how could they know that over the phone? So anyway, it's all so absurd. It's just, it's just insane. Yeah, he was murdered. I mean, of course he was murdered. He had a pillow over his head. They took him, instead of Marfa, they took him to past Marfa, an hour to Valentine, Texas, and then they took him from Valentine, Texas over to El Paso, and then they cremated the body so no autopsy could be done. And he was a devout Catholic that did not believe in cremation. It all just stinks, okay? Right? Agreed? It's absurd. So now the Hitler New World Order regime is coming in. They've got their votes. Of course, Obama will appoint someone, one of the Antichrist cronies, to come in. And, the Bible says that the Antichrist is the lawless one. That's right. It's like, yeah, he doesn't follow the laws of the land at all. So anyway, it's a no-brainer. But I want to show you all these pictures of dragons. So, I have a rhetorical question for you. Most people know what a rhetorical question is, but I'm going to ask you a question. You don't need to give me an answer, but if you want to sit there in front of your computer and answer, that's fine. But I've got a bunch of images on the screen of dragon costumes and dragon masks. Like here's kind of a cool one. Don't worry, I have a serious point to this. Trust me. So there's a bunch of dragon masks here. Here's one. I mean, these are masks you put on. Here's one over here. Let's see, kind of behind the image of where I'm speaking from. Right here's one. Here's one right here. I mean, these are dragon masks that people put on and wear. I mean, it's, for whatever reason, I'm just showing you dragon masks. You're probably going, why are you showing us dragon masks? Well, I told you I was going to ask you a rhetorical question. Let's say Scalia died, right? And they're having a giant funeral for him, which they did. And let's say here's a guy in a dragon costume right here. Okay, so let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say I was the guy that was up there instead of his son, Paul Scalia. But let's say it was me instead up there behind the pulpit. Here comes your rhetorical question. What would you think if I showed up to do the eulogy and I was wearing this dragon costume right here, I mean, let's say I was standing behind the pulpit and I was wearing a dragon costume. What would you think? That's the question I have for everybody. I mean, you got a bunch of, dignitaries there. You got his whole family here. There, the entire place is jam-packed. All the rows are full. And if I was standing up in front of everybody behind a pulpit and I was wearing a dragon costume, I just want to know, what would you think? Would you think this guy's totally whacked out? Probably, that would be a normal response. I mean, there has to be a thought process that occurs. What if I was up there and I acted like everything, totally legit? I'm up there behind the pulpit. well, Antonin was a wonderful man. He took his job seriously, and, I was up there saying all kinds of nice things about him. Wouldn't you go, this guy's absolutely insane? Well, what about the people that are sitting there watching, that are sitting out there looking at the person that's delivering this message? What do you think? I mean, they're going to be looking right at the guy if I'm standing up there in a dragon costume. Well, I would suggest, and here's my opinion, here's the answer that I'm going to give to the, somewhat rhetorical question, but I would think they'd probably come haul that guy off with a net, you know what I mean? They'd send some guys out from the side that walk over and said, sir, why don't you come with us? We have a nice room waiting for you in a Polish dinner jacket, straight jacket. I can say that because I have Polish in my family, Muchi Gamba from way back. Anyway, so I can make those Polish jokes and be politically correct still. So anyway, so yeah. So someone was up there behind a pulpit and they're wearing a dragon costume and they're acting like they're serious and that, God has put me here to eulogize Judge Scalia. Well, that person, whether or not it was me or you or your pastor or anybody, you'd have to admit they probably should be hauled off, in a padded wagon, right? I mean, that's normal thought process. Are we in agreement on that? I think, once again, just picture this costume or some reasonable facsimile of wearing a big dragon costume and standing behind a pulpit and delivering the eulogy or the homily. I mean, that'd be pretty nuts. It'd be wacko with a capital wacko. Okay. Agreed. Well, then there's Scalia's son. I want to show you a picture of a dragon. You probably see it, don't you, already? I kind of roughed it in real simple. I'm going to have to erase. Trying to figure out how I get the color change on there. There we go. I'll go to black. Anyway, so yeah, I kind of roughed this in already. I'll give you a little dot for an eye. I'll show you the nostrils. Right. There's the nostrils, and there's the teeth. So there's a there's a dragon. I'm just kind of drawing it in. I'm doing it with a mouse. It's not so easy. But, anyway. The dragon's eyes. The dragon's eyebrows. There's the other dragon's eyes. There you go. There's your dragon. So, it's pretty obvious. It's just ridiculous. So there's a dragon face. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out now. Okay, let's just go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Let me see where we're at. Let me see. I told you guys this program's a little bit glitchy, right? So I'm just going to show you now. I went ahead and superimposed a dragon over that for you so you can see it. There you go. There's a dragon superimposed. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back and I'm going to show you guys some imagery. So I went ahead and I drew the dragon in for you. So there's Scalia's son, Paul Scalia, and there's a very just, simple, drawing into the dragon. Here's one eye, here's one eye, coming down the face, nostril, coming down the face, nostril. There's his teeth and his bottom jaw. And this goes out to the dragon's horn. See the vines? And anyway, so he's got a giant dragon on his chest, okay? And it's not open for debate, okay? When I say this is a spiritual gift. I have the gift of knowledge and discernment. And I've been showing you guys these things for a long time. It's very obvious. It is just, there's not even a question about that. The intent is that is a dragon. he is wearing a dragon costume. Oh my gosh. So, at the funeral to Scalia, who's like the highest law in the land, Supreme Court, his son is up there wearing a dragon costume. Yeah. So, and they're standing in, of course, it's a Catholic church, and up on the wall is the Virgin. If you haven't seen the video I did that, is called The Serpent Exposed, and you haven't seen the papal regalia and what's on that, well, you should go watch that DVD. It's on Before the Fire. BeforeTheFire.com. Anyway, but I want to bring up a point. I want to make a point with this. That's insane. I mean, that's insane. He's wearing a dragon costume. So if he's wearing a dragon costume and he's up there giving a homily or a eulogy, whatever, for a dead guy, and they think the dead guy is going to heaven, and the guy that's wearing it is wearing a dragon costume, okay, see? That's a dragon costume. He's wearing a dragon costume. And they call it vestments or whatever you want to call it. It's a costume. It's a dragon costume. See, there's a dragon costume. Here's another one. Here's a guy wearing a pretty cool one. I mean, that one's, kind of silly, but, hey, these are dragon costumes. This is a dragon costume. So you're in a world where everybody that's sitting out on the row is watching this, and they don't see that he's wearing a dragon costume. So, how's that possible? And, Antonin, funeral. So, anyway, I'm going to just pull up a video real quick. So, how is that possible? I mean, what's going on? So, here we go. Antonin Scalia, funeral mass. So, there you go. So, here's all these people, right? By the way, there's all kinds of other stuff on these images on the wall. And so, this place was jam-packed. And we have all these guys in here that, they're supposed to be holy. See, look at all the, oh my gosh, look at all the holy guys. Well, the guy that's leading the thing is wearing a dragon costume. See? That guy's wearing a dragon costume. I just want you to do the math for a minute. So, you mean you're telling me that all these guys that are watching that have allowed in their minds for the guys that wear dragon costumes and the guys that wear mitre fish hats and that have you kiss a ring that has a vesica on it? I mean, think about it. Do you know how insane that is? So they have to be insane. That's insanity. I'm sure they'll say the other way around. I'm sure they'll say, no, you're insane. But I'm sorry. I'm going to show you. That guy right there is wearing a dragon costume. See it? Here, let me just do this real quick. Okay, there's an eye right there. And this becomes a whole eye right here. And this is the eye right here. And this becomes a whole eye right here. And then it comes down the dragon's nose like here. And there's the nose. And then it comes down this way. And there's the nostril of the dragon. There's the teeth of the dragon. And there's, the dragon horn stuff going out that way. I'm just drawing it in real quick. See? You see the dragon? See? I mean, dragon costume. So this guy that's supposed to be, real with the program on, with God, he's wearing a dragon costume. That's kind of weird. Let me go previous. see if I can switch out of this. There we go. So anyway, there all these people are. So you might ask yourself, how is this possible? How is it possible that I can show it to you like that? But all these people that think they know God, in that day many will say, Lord, Lord, have we not done many wonderful works in your name and prophesied in your name? And he'll say, depart from me, I never knew you, because you weren't on the rock. The rock of offense. The Petra, the rock of offense. Petra of offense. The word offense means a bent sapling that is a snare that turns everything upside down. So if you're not on the rock, you're not going to heaven. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not in Jesus' church. Jesus said, upon this rock I will found my church. And if you're in this church, you got a guy that wears a dragon costume that is giving the mass. There he is, right there. So I just wanted to show you how insane it is. But I also wanted to give you a scripture to go along with it. There's a scripture, and I believe it's Isaiah 60. We can do this together. We can see how good my Bible is. I believe it says, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness shall cover the people of the earth. And I want to show you, because that is gross darkness. If you're sitting in a church and you're looking at a guy wearing a dragon costume, but you can't even see the dragon costume, then you're as far off as the guy wearing the dragon costume, because you're actually entertaining it. You know what I mean? You're actually sitting there listening to the guy with the dragon costume. Yeah, that guy. There. And so, yeah, I'll show. I just superimposed a dragon right onto his chest. There you go. Thank you, Dave. So anyway, we just, I already drew it in, but I just kind of superimposed, one that's got the basic template so you can match it in your mind. That's a dragon on his chest. End of story. There's no question about it. It's a dragon. So, let me show you what Isaiah 60, I believe, so you understand. Arise, shine, for the light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and the kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. And see. All they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from afar, and thy daughters shall be nursed by thy side. I want to show you some. And thou shalt see. Thou shalt see. You shall be able to see this. Thou shalt see. Thy sons and flow together, thine heart shall fear, and shall be enlarged, because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee, and the forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. Everything's coming to Christ. I want to show you that this is really awesome down here in verse 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as doves to their window? I'll tell you who it is. It's those that are leaving that can see. If you see the world, I see people. It's so insane. You have a guy that doesn't have a birth certificate. No one knows where he's from. And he's running in one of the most powerful countries in the world. And people are dying left and right. If you think he's getting out of office, go ahead and vote. I don't think he's going anywhere. Anyway, I just wanted to show you where you live. You live on a planet where you don't belong to it anymore. See, I don't belong to this world. I mean, I'm in it, but I'm not of it. I mean, look at this stuff. Yeah, I can see. This is the dragon's world. This is the physical realm. The physical realm is owned by the serpent. And these are his minions. And what's so crazy is, do you think he even knows he has a dragon on his chest? No. Do you think the people in the audience, all the people that are looking, do you think they know he has a dragon on their chest? No, because if they did, they'd be going like, what the hell is he doing with the dragon on his chest? See what I mean? So you live in a world that's gone completely and utterly mad. insane. That's insanity. You're looking at it. You have a president that's knocking people off. Scalia was killed. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, and Benghazi was not the commander-in-chief and the head of the State Department, Hillary Clinton, killing people so they didn't get caught trafficking in arms to a group that's really our enemy. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I just want to show you Scalia was murdered, and his son said his farewells thinking he's sending him off to heaven wearing a dragon costume. Just like this guy right here. Just like that dragon costume right there. There's no difference. A dragon costume's a dragon costume. Either you're wearing a dragon costume or you're not. And they're both wearing dragon costumes. Wow, isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's sad, isn't it? Okay, so now here's the other thing. I'm going to do a search real quick. Let me show you something. Guys, the biggest thing about getting set free is knowing the truth. If you're wondering what to do to help people in these last hours of getting set free, and you don't know how to help them because the darkness is so deep and so great, here is beforethefire.com. This is a website that I've had for a while. Let's see if we can get it to fire up. Now this whole thing, you can click on any one of these, and these are all videos. So you click on here, you click on here, click on here, click on here. It's an upside down pyramid on purpose. I did this on purpose, and right here I put the key to understanding everything. The right side up and the upside down cross. And as you click these are all different videos. Okay, now here's the thing. We have all these, the Vatican exposed. It's really awesome. I mean, there's some great stuff on here. There's videos. You can get free videos. We do not charge for anything. Everything's free. The Lord told me I'm not allowed to sell anything. I've had offers to write books and to get published, and I said, no, I can't. The Lord told me everything I do is free. So we have videos, and you can go to the video page, and you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we will send you free videos, and you can go give them to somebody, somebody that's asleep, that doesn't have any clue that the bombings of all the buildings in the United States are printed on your money. It's like, what? Yeah. So if they're printed on your money, then how's that possible? Same way it's possible that Scalia's son is wearing a dragon costume while he's giving a eulogy for his own dad. He's off to the pit. He's not going to heaven. If anyone thinks he's going to heaven, yeah, it's absolutely insane. That's a form of insanity. You don't go to heaven being in a church that's the dragon's church. You know what I mean? That's by default. It's not how it works. You either know the truth and the truth sets you free, and you're in Jesus' church. He said, Matthew 16, and upon this rock, Petra, I will found my church. If you're not on that Petra, you're not in his church. That's all there is to it. And that's what I'm trying to help people understand. And I have a gift that's so profound that, a lot of people, have argued, whatever, said he's a false prophet. I'm like, that's bad. That sounds like you just committed an unforgivable sin, because if you're blaspheming the Holy Spirit that gave all this stuff to me, then you've committed an unforgivable sin. Okay, so anyway, here's a bunch of videos up here on this one page. If you go back, I think if you just navigate the site, here we go, look. You can send a self-addressed stamped envelope right here to Jonathan Kleck at this P.O. box. You don't have to send a dime. You don't have to send a dime. And we will send you free videos. If anyone wants to support the project, you can. But you don't have to send anything. But please make sure you get an envelope that's big enough that can hold You know, if you want 2 DVDs, 3 DVDs, I'll send them all free. But put your own postage on it. Put your own self-addressed stamped envelope that's big enough to hold your 3 CDs, okay, or DVDs. And then send it to this address. If you want 20 DVDs, I'll send them to you. People will send me 5 envelopes and say, yeah, I want 1 of each in each envelope without even putting a buck in it. I still send them out. So the thing is, this is information that is so critical because it helps people wake up. I mean, this information, if you want to help wake people up, then why don't you get some of these DVDs, put them on your hard drive, and why don't you copy your own and go give them to people? If you believe in what this ministry's done, then why don't you stand with it and at least get some DVDs, put them on your hard drive, and go hand them out to people. Go leave them at gas stations. Go leave the destruction of America on a bench. I mean, at least do something to try and wake these people up. They're sitting in churches watching a guy in a dragon costume bury a guy thinking he's going to heaven. I mean, there's coming a day where we're all going to have to give an account to God. What did you do with your talent, your time? Did you try and wake anybody up? And you know, why not? You had the information available. You didn't do anything. And I literally laid down my life in 2002. And I have suffered to get this information to people. And now I'm going to make a last run at grabbing them out of the fire, you know, because here comes the fire, man. World War III's here, man. It's going to happen. All we can do now is try and save souls. And get them not to watch people that are wearing dragon costumes that say they're men of God. That's insane. That is insane. But that's what's going on. There's a guy in a dragon costume. There's the Scalia funeral. And there's his son wearing his dragon costume. And I just you know, roughly pinned it in for you there. You can see how I pinned it in. Now I'll let you look at it for yourself without me pinning it in. You know, I showed you where it is. Now, I'll show you without any markings on it. You can see it yourself. See a dragon? There's the eye. There's the eye. There's a nostril. There's a nostril. There's a fang. There's a fang. Going up the side of the head, it's still horns. You know, it's a no-brainer for me. It's nothing. So there's a guy in a dragon costume burying his dad that was murdered by the administration. Yep. It sure looks that way, doesn't it? It sure looks like his dad was conveniently murdered. I mean, they broke all kinds of laws not following normal protocol and not even having a medical examiner there. So now the government will swing socialist instantly. And by the way, Hitler was a socialist, you know. Yep. And so then what they'll do is Big Brother will come in and implement martial law and all their good stuff, Mark of the Beast, the whole deal. It's here. Anyway, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Mind-blowing, huh? Dragon costume. Dragon costume. Dragon costume. Dragon costume. So just do the math. So, if I saw somebody in a dragon costume trying to lead a funeral, I'd say, man, that dude is wacko. That's crazy. Check the dude out. What, do you go to Walmart and get a dragon costume before the program? No, these guys hand them out. These guys have them made and they hand them out. That's even crazier, right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, just trying to make my point. It's just so crazy. Anyway, welcome to the jungle. Yeah, anyway. Alright, folks, well, I just wanted to get this out. I hope you guys see how ridiculous it is. I hope you go to Before the Fire, and I hope, you know, you help with this effort of all this information that the Lord's let me produce. If you go to those pages, it'll show you the DVDs we have. You can ask me whatever DVD you want. Put it on your hard drive. I'll send it to you free. Just start making them, giving them out. You know, you don't know what could happen with someone. It might wake someone up like you got woke up. I hear people tell me all the time, thank God, Jonathan, I found your channel because, you know, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have woken up. Well, what are you doing to help others? Are you your brother's keeper? And then we'll keep cranking out DVDs, but, you know, this is all self-supported. God supports it. So if maybe you want to let God use you to support it, you know. So go do it. Go start cranking out some DVDs. We'll send you what you need. Pretty wild, huh? Dragon costume. Dragon costume. Dragon costume. Dragon costume. Dragon costume. It's crazy, right? Gross darkness, the people of the earth. You're looking at it. Okay, God bless you guys.